In 1966, the United States Army built one of its largest bases in all of Vietnam, Cu Chi, northwest of Saigon. 25,000 American soldiers sleeping, eating, and training there every night. What they didn't know, the entire base was built directly on top of 250 kilometers of enemy tunnels, and the Viet Cong were already inside. Soldiers dying in their cots, helicopters sabotaged on the runway, food vanishing from locked rooms, ammunition disappearing. And nobody could figure out how. No breach in the perimeter, no footprints, no broken fences. The enemy was getting in and out without ever touching the surface. Because they didn't need to. Trap doors, hidden in the jungle floor, invisible when closed. A Viet Cong fighter rises out of the earth, fires, and vanishes underground before anyone can react. The Cu Chi tunnel system had been under construction since the 1940s, first against the French, then expanded for the Americans. By 1966, 250 kilometers, from the outskirts of Saigon to the Cambodian border. These weren't crude holes. Hospitals, weapons factories, kitchens, training rooms, living quarters for thousands of fighters, ventilation shafts disguised as termite mounds, underwater entrances, some sections 60 feet deep. Above ground one war, below ground another. In January 1966, the U.S. launched Operation Crimp. 8,000 troops swept Cu Chi. B-52 bombers turned the jungle into a moonscape. They found almost nothing. The Viet Cong had disappeared underground. 1 year later, Operation Cedar Falls. 30,000 troops. One of the largest ground operations of the entire war. Tunnel rats crawled underground and found the Viet Cong district headquarters. 500,000 documents, maps of American bases, troop movements from Cambodia, plans for a failed assassination of Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara. But despite 30,000 troops and weeks of fighting, the tunnels survived. The Viet Cong filtered back within weeks. 1 year later, those exact tunnels launched the Tet Offensive, the largest coordinated attack of the entire war. 30,000 soldiers couldn't destroy what a few thousand Vietnamese built with shovels. If this is the kind of story you want more of, subscribe. The military realized bombs weren't enough. Someone had to go inside. They needed volunteers, small men, under 5'5", men who would crawl into absolute darkness with nothing but a pistol, a knife, a flashlight, and a piece of string tied to their belt so they could find their way back. They called themselves the Tunnel Rats. Their motto, not worth a rat's ass. There were only about 100 of them in all of Vietnam, and most of them either died underground or were wounded at least once. The tunnels were designed to kill anyone who entered. Tripwires, grenades, punji sticks dipped in poison, scorpions rigged to fall on your head, snakes, alive, placed in the dark as booby traps, U-bends that could flood in seconds and drown whoever was inside. The tunnel rats couldn't drink, couldn't smoke, couldn't chew gum. Anything that dulled their senses could get them killed. Some stopped showering. Some wore the black pajamas of the enemy, ate only Vietnamese food, so their scent wouldn't give them away. Every time a tunnel rat went underground, the men above waited in silence. Sometimes they heard a single gunshot and didn't know which side fired it. The tunnel rats had one rule: no rat, wounded or dead, was ever left inside a tunnel. The Americans tried everything: explosives, gas pumped into entrances, bulldozers, chemical defoliants. By 1969, B-52 carpet bombing with delayed fuse bombs that exploded deep underground. The tunnels bent, some collapsed, but the network never broke. 45,000 Vietnamese men and women died in the Cu Chi region over the course of the war. The tunnels outlasted the most powerful military in the world. Today, the Cu Chi tunnels are a national war memorial. Tourists crawl through the same passages where men killed each other in the dark. 250 kilometers of tunnels, built with shovels, defended with snakes and tripwires, held against 30,000 troops and B-52 bombers. America built its biggest base on top of the enemy, and the enemy never left. Subscribe for more stories history forgot.